All right, hello, and welcome to our podcast for our website, The Pursuit of Happiness. Today, we're going to talk about a movie I recently saw and try to decide how I really think about it. So, the movie is.
Because you don't know how you really think about it?
Yeah. I don't exactly know how I feel about it. The movie I saw is.
I must be your therapist then. If I meant to help you figure out what you think about it.
Yeah, you are my therapist. I just don't pay you.
Okay. What's the movie?
The movie is called National Parks Adventure. National Parks Adventure.
Wait, you're not paying me for this?
No.
Okay, go on.
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
I'll give you a nickel.
Okay, go on.
All right, National Parks Adventure. It is a film that's showing across the country in museums and planetariums. There's even one showing in West Yellowstone in the lodge there. So if you're around that area, you can see National Parks Adventure in a national park.
Okay.
It is about 40 minutes long. And I saw it and I don't know what to think about it. Parts of it were good, parts of it were bad.
Well, isn't that how you feel about all movies, Mark?
Well, not all movies, no. Some.
What do you do with the kinds of movies that you feel? What do you do with the kinds of movies that you feel that way about?
Well, I think about them and analyze them.
All the time? Or just when you have an assignment?
All the time.
Like what movie?
With this one.
Like what other movie that you watched for enjoyment?
Avengers Age of Ultron. Wasn't sure what to think about that one.
Oh boy. Wait. Is that a cartoon?
No, it's a real movie.
Voltron. Is that a Star Trek?
No, The Avengers.
Oh.
Tony Stark, Captain America. You don't know this?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, let's keep on track.
Why didn't you know? I know I am trying to. I'm analyzing this. You wanted help analyzing this. So why didn't you know how to think about that one? And then we'll go into why you didn't know how to think about this one and see if there's some kind of connection.
I kind of had like an idea of what I wanted the movie to be about, and it was different from what I was hoping.
Oh, so you're spoiled. So do you usually have this idea about movies before you watch them, but then you end up liking them? Or is it always when you have an idea and it's not met that you end up not knowing what to think about it?
That's a good question.
Okay, we found the answer. We're done with the podcast. Just kidding.
Okay. I'm gonna keep going, even though you're done. So this National Parks Adventure is, I went into it not knowing what to expect. Was it just a bunch of pictures of the national parks? Was it them?
Wait a minute, pause. So you just said that you felt the same way about the Voltron Avengers movie because you did have an expectation and it wasn't met. So this time you didn't have an expectation and it also wasn't met? That's impossible.
Well, I still don't have an expectation about it because I don't know how to feel about it.
Okay, then there's not a connection. My bad.
Okay.
You could have called me out on that, you know.
I'm so lost right now.
Okay. When you listen back through, you'll understand.
Okay.
So was it just going to be pictures?
Yeah, was it just like pictures of the parks? Was it someone trying to tell us to do our part to conserve the national parks, to make them better, to tell us to go see them? I wasn't sure what it was going to be about. So I went in and saw it, and I came out still not knowing what to think. So let me go through a couple thoughts about the movie. You can maybe tell me what you think about it.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. So it starts off, and there wasn't like a direct line of of anything in the movie. It kind of jumped around between three different things. The first thing was there were these three friends who every summer they go to different parks, national parks around the country, and go hiking and biking and rock climbing and whatever you do in the national parks. They go out and do that for their during their summer semester in college. They do that. The second part of the movie was kind of a history lesson on the parks and how they were formed and why they were formed. And then the third part was kind of telling people to conserve the national parks and to go enjoy them. So, it was kind of confusing because it jumped around a little bit. It wasn't really cohesive and straightforward. It kind of showed the three friends, and then it showed a history, and then it showed the three friends, and then conservative stuff, and then the history, and then conservative and the friends. It jumped around a lot. And it didn't really show a whole lot of the parks, or at least all of the parks. It showed a lot of Yosemite and a lot of Yellowstone and Grand Canyon, some of the big ones. It showed a lot of them, but it didn't mention anything at all of the other ones, the National Mall in D.C., or Mount Rushmore, or the Everglades, or Acadia, or Denali up in Alaska, or anything in Hawaii or anything. It didn't really mention those, and if it did, it was just quickly. So I was a little bit disappointed that it didn't show any of those. Because if they were trying to get awareness out to go see the parks, you would think they'd try to mention and show as much as they could.
So you don't know what their purpose was?
Yeah, exactly. But I did enjoy the adventure of those three friends going. Like, that really drew me in, and I wanted to see how their adventure went and like go out with them and go hiking with them and whatever with them. I felt like we were really friends at the end. Like I could hang out with them.
So it's not that the movie was split up into three parts. It was just how it was all mixed together that you didn't like? Or was it the actual three parts you didn't like?
No, the three parts themselves were okay, but just how they mixed them together.
How would you have done it different?
I don't know. I'm not a filmmaker.
Well, then how can you judge one?
Because it didn't make me happy at the end.
Well, what would have made you happy as a watcher?
I don't know if it was more fluid, more structured. It wasn't like, it just seemed random when they changed. It didn't seem like it was what they were talking about with the three friends was really what they needed to be talking about with the conservatism.
I feel like documentaries always do that, though. You've seen documentaries before, right?
Yeah.
Was this different?
Maybe not a whole lot.
And then the other part you didn't like was that they didn't show enough of other major parks.
Yeah, they just focused on the big ones. And I've seen those.
Redwoods?
Sequoia?
Whatever, the ones in
Yeah,
California.
the redwood.
And the men's faces. I forgot that. And Mount Rushmore. Those aren't big ones. The Grand Canyon isn't a big one.
Yeah, it showed the Grand Canyon. It showed a little bit of the redwoods. But I mean, it didn't show Mount Rushmore at all. It didn't show.
Maybe they don't want people going there anymore. Maybe too many people go there.
Maybe. Maybe. I hadn't thought about that.
That's what I'm here for, Mark.
Good. I'm glad. I mean, I did enjoy. Some of the shots were just breathtaking, and it really felt like I was there. It didn't feel
like a screensaver. Screensavers are pretty breathtaking.
Yeah, like an amazing screensaver that's like 80 feet tall and 120 feet wide.
Oh, because of the screen.
Look at the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the shots were just amazing. Like, I don't know how they went in and got them. Obviously, they were in a helicopter because they were shot from above. But some of them were just simply breathtaking, you know, just. I don't know how to describe them. They were so good. That was enjoyable. I would have liked to see that for
Are you serious?
40 minutes.
Just pictures?
Yeah. It'd be cool. Maybe some narration, like, this is the redwood tree.
So you would say that was your favorite part. Not only was that your favorite part, but you would be okay literally with an entire show being pictures of national forests or parks, national parks.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be okay with 2.5 hours of that.
Well, it was only 40 minutes.
Yeah, 40 minutes, I'd definitely be okay with that.
And the thing your least favorite part was the fact that the jumping around randomness like a documentary that you must just not like in general. And the fact that they didn't have other parks.
Yeah, those were I didn't like that very much. There was one part that really bugged me. We're seeing our three friends, right? They're going on this adventure. And then they say, "Oh, we're going to go over to this," which isn't in a national park, but it's pretty cool. And then they spend like 5 minutes outside of a national park, and the movie is about the national parks.
Well, where were they?
They were just mountain biking outside of Moab, Utah, having fun.
Moab, outside of Moab?
Yeah,
Moab is a national park?
no. There's two Arches and Canyonlands national parks right by Moab.
You're sure they were not in either one of those?
Yeah, the narrator specifically said, "This is not in a national park, but it is cool," or something like that. He did say that they weren't in a national park.
Huh. Well, excuse me, maybe he was trying to say, like, see, even when you go see the national park, if you don't want to spend days and days and days just looking at the same stuff, you can also do other things that, you know, while you're down there visiting.
Maybe,
So that you can spend a week around there.
but it's not national parks and surrounding areas adventure.
But
It's
Mark,
national parks.
I know. Yes, good point. And I see what you're saying because you're saying, like, they should just focus on national parks, not necessarily, like, what you can do while you're visiting a national park. But maybe... And yeah, I guess they did take away the time from being able to show other national parks that you think they should have showed. But maybe that was their purpose. That they wanted people to just get a little taste of national parks and to make people aware that national parks are available for, like, a trip, not just like a let's drive through and look at, you know, let's just stay there one day kind of thing.
Maybe. Hadn't
And
thought about
maybe
that.
you didn't. That's why you didn't like the video so much, because you already know that. You being the type of person you are, you would go and check out the adjoining areas and stuff. You wouldn't just be like, okay, let's go there one day, stay the night, and check it out one day, and then go home.
Maybe.
Because they kind of like give you information you already knew. Maybe that's why you don't like it.
Maybe. I mean, it could have been a movie that was, you know, they're trying to get people interested in the parks that don't go to them and don't know that much. So that could have been their purpose. And then I wouldn't have liked it because I do know about them. I've been to most of the places they showed.
Yeah. You wanted more. You wanted additional information for your knowledge,
Yeah.
and it probably wasn't maybe a film for your level of knowledge.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think the majority of people are like you, or the majority of people are like the people that the film was trying to be... The audience the film was trying to get, or whatever?
I think after watching it that it's more for people who don't go.
Yeah, but do you think there's more people out there like you, or more people out there like for the...
Yeah, I think there's more people that don't know that much and don't go to them a couple times a year.
Yeah.
So I think there's more people not like me.
Okay. So their audience would be for the larger population.
Probably. Yeah. Now that you mention it, that seems to fit.
Problem solved. That's $100. Just kidding. That's a fake laugh. Just for the podcast, just so y'all know.
It was fake. It was not a funny joke. So of course it was fake. So, now that I've had some time to think about it, I kind of want to go see it again. See if my mind changes. If I think something different now that I've seen it and kind of can know what to expect. If I'll come out thinking, oh yeah, it's definitely for this, and I can understand that or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
get a different perspective.
As your therapist, I definitely think you should do that.
Okay. Well, maybe that was worth $100.
Yeah. See, now that wasn't funny because you're not actually giving it to me. So.
That was a fake laugh too. All right. Well, I think we've got, or at least I do. I've got some good information, and I know what to do. And maybe I'll go see it again. Maybe I'll see it this weekend.
I think that at the end of this podcast, you should confirm one way or another. Right now, confirm, decide, so that we can all follow up with you later if you decide to go again.
I will confirm that I will not be seeing it today, but maybe in the future I will.
Mark.
Is that good?
No.
I don't know. I can't say if I'm going to see it or not.
Why not?
Because I don't know. Maybe.
It's a choice, is it not? How old are you?
All right. I'll go see it again.
Okay.
Maybe I'll report again after I see it.
Okay.
They can be episode 2 of our podcast.
I am so excited. I
All right.
didn't take notes though.
Oh, that's okay. We can re-listen to it. You don't have to
Okay,
take notes.
Okay, good.
All
Bye,
right.
y'all. Oh.
Bye. Thanks for joining us. Go see National Parks Adventure. If you haven't been to the parks and you want to learn a little bit about them, maybe we'll see you there.
Okay.